I have to go to work, so I got here early so I could get a park underground because, you know, it's raining. There was not a single car park underground, so I kind of got here early and for no point because there's a million spots on the roof because no one wants to be walking in the rain. Honestly, I don't really care. So let's talk about Twister games. If you'll see by my little like tab thing, I'm actually quite a fair through it. But okay, here's the thing, right? I was listening to the audiobook and I didn't have the actual physical book, so I was just like taking notes. So I'm gonna like take the notes and we're gonna reenact because I'm bored and I've got nothing to do now except sit in here because it's like raining. Also, I listened to the audiobook because a few days ago I had to go to like this like wedding thing, and basically it was a 3-hour drive to the place and then a 3-hour drive back. That actually looks like the Eiffel Tower over there. No, it like actually does look like the Eiffel Tower. Look, it's fine. That's all gone pretty much. Does my skin look bad in this lighting? You know what? I don't even care. I actually don't even care. Yeah, there's like no one around me, so I feel more comfortable doing this. Okay, let's do my little reenactment now. Can you guys hear that? Does it sound like it's raining? You guys, I looked it up and it's severe weather. It's like a severe weather warning for flooding. So that's fantastic. Let's hope I don't get flooded in. I think the rain has slowed down, which is very wonderful. Okay, so let's talk about this book. Basically, I am so super excited to read this book. I'm so excited to read it because there is something about okay, there is something about the whole bodyguard, princess kind of thing that I eat up, or just really bodyguard with anything. I love that in books. I actually haven't read many of them, to be honest. I think this is like one of the only ones, but I absolutely adore it. I think it's just because my dream man is someone who can, you know, if there was like a fight to ensue, he'd be able to like win, you know? Like, I need someone who can win a fight because, you know, I fear a lot of things. I'm very paranoid, you know, I'm always suspicious of people, so I need someone who I know that if I'm with, I'm safe and that they can actually protect me, you know? Like, I don't want someone who can't do that because I'm the person who can't do anything, okay? So we can't have both two people who can't fight. And also, look at my nails. How am I supposed to punch someone with these? I love the whole bodyguard thing. Adore it. Okay. I think I'm gonna go with the night. Okay, this is a nice playlist. So it takes place for 4 years, includes several jumps. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, so part 1. Let's begin. Okay, that was a bird talking. The bird was saying that, okay? Ruth hated birds. He said they reminded him of giant flying rats. I think part of my fear with birds stems from the fact that when I was younger, I was told that they were just flying rats with wings. There are birds around my house and I don't mind them. Well, not inside my house, but like, you know, outside my house, I don't mind them. But other birds, no. No. Already, I'm in love with him. Already am. And also, he's like in his 30s. Why do so many people that I'm in love with are in their 30s? But like also like Julian hates, he's 31. This book is actually really funny. Bridget has just told us that he always wears a shirt. Like, he's never not wearing his shirt. And you know what that means? Girls who read a lot of Wattpad when they were younger, you would know this. All these like scars on their back, and that's why they never take off their shirt, because of the scars on their back. So that's, I know that's what's happened. He's got scars. My stupid alarm really interrupted me there. Also, yes, these books do give Wattpad. Just a book for fun, you know, it's not that deep. And, you know, I think sometimes, yes, it's amazing to read deep books. I love reading deep books, but also I can't only read deep books and I can't only read classical literature. She can't go to this festival because it's a security risk and she's a princess, and I know his name is Reese, but I don't like calling him that. I'm just gonna go with Rise, and I know that's not his real name. I know it's not. Okay, but I have my reasons why I don't want him to be called the other name, but Rise, he's very overprotective. But because she can't go to this festival, what he did was he set up an indoor festival for her. Why does my hair look so dead? Yeah, he set up an indoor festival for her because she couldn't go to the proper one with like a tent and food and stuff, and like with the music on the screen, like with live footage from the thing. To have someone who cares must be nice. 3 words: the bucket list. Basically, a situation has happened, so she has made a bucket list, and my bucket list is 4 things. What is underneath my nail? And he's like, I'm gonna help you with your bucket list. Imagine having someone. Do you guys know Coraline? Well, if you do, you know that when it rains, she wears like this like yellow rain jacket, and I just looked behind me and there was someone wearing a yellow rain jacket. Coraline was like one of my favorite movies when I was younger. This is lovely, but it also is deep, and it also, you know, it's a little bit sad. Actually, it's very sad. It's good when books can make you feel emotion. My consensus is that this book is much better than the first one. Honestly, I read/listened to the first one. Basically, I had to sit in a hospital for a long time, so I listened to that so that got like taking over, you know, the first one. And honestly, I just didn't like it. But I like this one better than the first one. What I'm really excited for is the Twisted Hate one and also Twisted Lies one, because the thing is, right, the storylines are interesting, right? Bodyguard and the princess, and the next one is like rivalry kind of thing. You know, the last one is like the girl's like a social media influencer, and her love interest is a dude named Christian Harper, which he's in this book, right? Because the thing is, the main dude in this book, he is a security guard, right? And so his boss is this dude named Christian Harper, who's also in his 30s. In every man I look for Julian Hate somewhere. I'm kidding. Honestly, I just want to finish all of these 4 books in April. I am so far behind. You know, everyone has already like read this series, and you know, I started reading the Kings of Sin series, like King of Wrath. First of all, I like this better than the Kings of Sin series. I read King of Wrath, then I started reading King of Pride, and I was just like, I can't do it. So I'm hoping if I finish this, then I can like read that, and then it's just sort of in my brain nicely. It's like I did things chronologically. This is sad. They just want to stay in Costa Rica. How dare he? Also, somewhere in this book, Bridget was like, a princess doesn't cry, and it just reminded me of that song. And if you were on like 2020 TikTok, that song was like running rampant on there, and it would be all these people doing like those POVs in the background and be like, a princess doesn't cry, no. You know what I'm talking about? It never fails to amaze me how... Do you remember when everyone used to say amazeballs? Well, I never said that, but other people did. It never fails to amaze me that certain words and phrases and stuff can like bring you back to certain time periods. You know, because if I hadn't read that, I probably wouldn't be thinking about 2020 TikTok and all those cringy POVs. Honestly, I should have gotten on that trend, because then I could be a famous influencer. No, I don't want to be. No, I just want money so I can have books. Like, let me tell you how I spend my money, okay? So, fuel. And car maintenance. Oh my... We didn't talk about that. So much money. And then books. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And food, and then alcohol, and that's basically it. That's how I split my money. You know, sometimes some beauty items, some clothes, but like the most part is books and fuel that take all my money. Andreas can get away, but also it's ironic because I actually know what the deal is with Andreas now, but I didn't before. Now, why does it... This lighting is making my skin look horrendous, showing the texture of my skin. I don't like that at all. But he is funny because she's like dancing with this guy, and they're like to him, do you think they're a cute couple? And he's like, no. I think the reason why I don't really mind being single as much as I think I would mind is because I have books. Every single time someone says something about like their relationship, like on TikTok or whatever, I have it saved into a folder, and it's just like reasons to stay single. I think some people are just destined to be alone, and I feel like that's me, and I'm resigning to that fact, because if I don't, then I'll spend the next years of my life being like, I don't want to be in a relationship. And also I refuse to go on like any dating apps, and I'm never meeting the love of my life on Snapchat, so there goes any of that. I go to uni in person. I don't just get in there and get out. Like, I sit there with my friends, we talk for a long time, which means that there's ample opportunities. And I've just given up now. I've accepted the fact that I'm gonna be lonely forever, and I'm not gonna have anyone ever. And is that sad? Yes. But also, I've done enough of the relationship lover kind of situation, and also I don't deal well with heartbreak.
And I'm so stupid because I fall for it every single time.
I don't do very well with that, and I also have severe commitment issues, so maybe it's just good. That got kind of really deep. But this is actually so funny. Like, her grandpa just wants to know all the gossip. Crawl! Sometimes you read something and it sort of takes you out of the fact that you're reading, and it's like, what are you doing? Oh, get up! Girl, get off the ground. In my humble opinion, it's cringy. You know that song by The Weeknd, and it's like, you belong to me. That's this book right here, because that's what he keeps saying. He's like, no, you belong to me. You belong to me. I'm not spoiling anything because, you know, this is spoiler free. But she was just sent something in an email, and if you read the book, you'll know. And see, this is like one of my biggest fears. I'm more scared of this happening than birds. I know with like the bodyguard thing, they cannot actually be together because it's a conflict of interest. Like, I know that. I still don't remember what the movie is called, but there's one, and the girl, who's the bodyguard, he gets feelings for her, and then he has to be like moved to someone else because of the conflict of interest. So I know. Every contemporary romance has a third act breakup, pretty much. I think pretty much all of them have one. I think the only book that I ever read that doesn't have a third act breakup, it was just like some drama that happened in the third act, which, you know, it's fine. But majority of books that have a third act breakup where the couple gets together, you know, it's in movies, It's in TV shows. It's just in books. And the thing is, though, is normally it's for such a stupid reason. Like, personally, I felt like in Twisted Love, stupid reason. But in this one, I feel like it makes sense. You know, it's not just like, I'm scared I'm gonna hurt you if we be together, so I'm gonna hurt you by not being together, you know? Because it's like, make it make sense, you know? You're like, I don't want to hurt you, but then you dump them. Like, obviously that's gonna hurt them more. Anyways, I feel like the third breakup in this, like, it's inevitable, and I was expecting it, and also, it makes sense. There's a paragraph in this book and I can't find it, and I think it's around the chapter 30 mark. I can't find it, but I think it was along the lines of, you know, our story was like never supposed to have an end or something. It was basically, it's like a really long paragraph and I was going to read it out to you, but I can't find it anywhere. Anyways, now we're up to where I currently am, where I feel sick. I'm up to chapter 41 and I have this much left to go. I know that everything is going to be resolved because, again, this is a contemporary romance. Still, I'm hoping I can finish this today. I mean, I think I can finish this today. Yeah, get it, Grandpa. I just got up to chapter 44 and now I actually have to go to work. But it ended on, she called Alex, the dude from the first book. Typically what happens is when I hate a character in their own book, in other books I like them. We'll see if he can redeem himself.
What has happened to him? Why does he look like that?
Also, the way that, like, when I saw Clinton Kane's name in the Twisted Games song playlist, like, I was actually in shock. I was not expecting that. Because I only know him because of Brooke Schofield. She's on the Cancel podcast with Tana Mojo. And I only know him because of them. Because he, like, lied about his parents and he lied about being Australian or something. I don't know. I finished Twisted Games. And I kind of just wanted to tell you about, like, the rest of... See, I can't believe Clinton Kane. And I can't believe, like, I actually know who that is. Because normally, sometimes I look at people and I'm like, oh, I don't know who that is. I like when, honestly, they're all together. Because this is the last one. No, it's not. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm a little bit, like, all over the place here. A pro to this book, if you will, is the fact that there is actually a plot. I mean, you know, sometimes I just feel like with some contemporary romances, like, the plot's, like, bad. But, like, there's, like, blackmail, like, which is interesting. I don't know why, but this book is also kind of reminding me a little bit of the reverse, My Prince and Me or something like that. I literally don't know why. I think it's just because there's a small country in Europe and there's, like, royalty. Also, there's a character in this book called Andreas, and at first I was like, ew, but he started to grow on me. Could I tell you now who Andreas is? I think I don't remember who he is. No, I remember who he is, okay? That's nice. 3 months later. Goodbye. Today has been everything to do with doctors and post office and fuel stations, so you don't care about any of that. But what you will care about is that I got a book. When I saw this package, I was like, this is my reward. It's Picking Daisies on Sundays. It is a romance novel. This cover is actually the cutest thing I think I've ever seen in my entire life. I love the spine. The back has a little, like, sewing machine and the little detailing. Oh, the scene I just opened up to. The writing is a little bit small. I don't know, it just sounds cute, sounds fun. I got another package as well, so I'm gonna, like, really quickly just show you Where Sleeping Girls Lie. This is where basically there's this boarding school. I believe it's YA thriller actually, but there's this boarding school and I think it's just about, like, what's gonna happen with that. I'm very excited for this. The Co-Worker by Frida McFadden. I got this book because it was, I don't know why I got this book. One by one, and essentially what this book is about, basically these girls going on a girls trip, and as they're driving, the minivan that they're in breaks down, and only one of them is gonna survive. Anyways, that's all I've got. Bye!
He's actually a real person.
Can you see me? No, you can't, because there's no lights on, because guess what? I'm home alone. I just got home. And I tried to turn the lights and no lights are turning on. And there's an irritating beeping noise from the alarm system because there was a blackout. And nothing is turning back on again. Honestly, I'm scared. And you know what? Today was kind of an interesting day because guess what? I made it to uni early. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to sit in the back of my car. And look, there's a demon scratching. I'm like, I'm going to sit at the back of my car. Anyways, so as I was sitting back in the car, I was reading my little book. And I was like, okay, now it's time for me to do my hair. So I tried to do my hair. And by doing my hair, I took it out of my little plaits and I started brushing it, and then obviously I didn't want my hair to, like, get all over my car, so I had my head kind of, see, this is the irritating beep noise I was telling about. I didn't want my hair to, like, get on my car, so I kind of leaned my head out of as I was brushing, and I'm like, what is that? And I look in the cup holder and there is dirty fruit scraps. Oh my god, that, I did not put that there, no one's been in my car, put that there. The owners of the previous car, because my car's used, the owners of the previous car had dirty fruit scraps in the cup holder, and I didn't even realize until then. And, like, it was only a little bit, but, like, it makes sense because every single time my sister was in my car, she was like, why did your car stink? And I was like, no, it doesn't. Well, I mean, she was sitting on the side with the fruit scraps. The only light source in the caveman times. Do you all know that song? It's by Wiz Khalifa and then The Weeknd. I think it's like Remember You. But it's like, girl, take pride in what you want to do. That song has been trapped in my mind. Trapped in my mind. And then last week, you know what was trapped in my mind? The House of Balloons. But it was that one particular part of the song that was like, Anyways, it's a Friday night, and for once in my life, I actually have plans. I just got home from work, right? And I'm gonna be out for once. Why do I feel like something terrible is gonna happen? I'm gonna see that movie. It's called Tarot. Basically, I deleted TikTok. Well, I didn't delete it. I offloaded it. Same thing. Didn't want to get rid of my drafts, whatever. So I was like to my brother, oh, can I just like borrow your phone? And so he let me have like 5 minutes on his TikTok. So I was like doing my little searching, and I searched up tarot because like I was wanting a reading from like one of the TikTok. You know, I know it's bad when I start looking for the random people on the internet to give me the tarot card readings. I know it's bad when that starts happening. But I looked it up, and the first thing that came up was the video of like some guy reviewing the movie, and he was like, "This is the worst movie I've ever seen in my entire life," which like, you know what? I think this movie's gonna be campy. Is it gonna be good? No, because we've established this, okay? I don't like any new movies because I think that they all look like they're a commercial. They've got the quality of like you're watching a commercial, and I just think that it just is not good. Nothing is good anymore. I sound like an old person. I say that with love. I do. I say that with love. Remember when everyone said that was a gang sign? I apologize. Maybe I'll do it this way. I don't want to be throwing off gang signs, like, but yes, I'm gonna see the tarot movie, and I will update you on if it's good. And yes, out of my paycheck, I've taken out $40 because it's like $20 for a movie ticket and like $20 for like a popcorn and like a little drink. That's ridiculous. Also, pretty sure last time I went, the lady overcharged me because she did not want to give me the receipt. Like, because I just like naturally have my hand out for the receipt, and she looked at me and she scrunched up and threw it in the bin and was like, "You don't need that, do you?" And I was like, what was on that receipt? Like, why did she do that? Anyways. But yeah, I'll update you if the movie is any good or not. Also, what's happening with my reading? Well, I don't know. I've got a lot of books. I've sorted out all my books. I've got to preheat the oven for my mom. Oh, that's such riveting information that you definitely wanted to know. Also, if I don't meet someone of a romantic interest tonight, that's it. I'm giving up on love. I'm going to accept the fact that I'm going to be lonely. Don't know why. And that's it. Okay? Some people are destined to be alone, and if I don't meet anyone tonight, then I'm going to accept that that's me. And I'm in denial about it because I don't want that to be me. But, you know, it is what it is. Daisy Jones and the Six. I feel like this book is just something that everyone has read by now. I've heard that the audiobook to this is very good, but I couldn't find it for free anywhere. So in some stage, if I can afford to get like Audible, I will listen to it because I think it's on Audible. I'm gonna have to just read it, and it's written like interview. It has the people. I'm gonna just kind of tell you my thoughts and opinions and like just little things, and yeah, I'm actually gonna read out the Goodreads thing so you know what the story is about. So Daisy is a girl coming of age in LA in the late 60s, sneaking into clubs on the Sunset Strip, sleeping with rock stars, and dreaming of singing at the Whiskey A Go-Go. But I don't know what that is. The sex and drugs are thrilling, but it's the rock and roll she loves most. By the time she's 20, her voice is getting noticed, and she has the kind of heedless beauty that makes people do crazy things. Also getting noticed is the Six, a band led by the brooding Billy Dunn. On the eve of their first tour, his girlfriend Camilla finds out she's pregnant, and with the pressure of impending fatherhood and fame, Billy goes a little wild on the road. Daisy and Billy cross paths when a producer realizes that the key to supercharged success is to put the two of them together. What happens next will become such legends. The novel written as an oral history is one of the biggest bands of the 70s. Because this is a series, right, they actually have songs, and this is a rock band, right? But I listen to some of the songs, like, that is not what I imagined when I imagined a rock song. Like, this is it here. This is, like, the main song, but, like, it doesn't really sound like a rock song. See, if I go to, like, a rock and roll playlist, let's just do a random playing Bon Jovi. Okay, I don't know if this is, but they're also saying that Summer 69 by Bryan Adams. Okay, I don't know how real this, like, rock and roll mix is, because there are songs that is not. Stand By Me. That darling, darling, stand by me, oh, stand. That is not a rock song. That is not a rock song, or is it? I don't know, I kind of just always thought, like, rock stars were, like, people on a stage and they were, like, screaming. No, that's, like, is that heavy metal? Guys, I'm not, like, I don't really know much about this. You know, at the end of the year, Spotify is like, oh, this is the genre I listen to. I don't think I've ever had rock and roll, like, ever. It's the way that I thought this was real, and it's, like, it's not, like, this is not her author. This is the author's note of this. It's very strange because the characters feel very real. Like, what I remember about Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo is that, like, I found myself looking things up because it feels real. This book, I can already tell, is going to be one of those ones that just has so many good quotes and just so many sort of, like, drops of wisdom, which I love in books. But, like, this one right here, like, I would do anything for this kind of thing. There's this peace that comes with knowing you have a person in the world who would do anything for you, that you would do anything for. And it's painful. It's really painful because, especially when you had those people and you don't anymore. So we've had a little bit about Daisy's story and now we're talking about the 6, which, like, I prefer Daisy's. I'm really liking everything so far. Like, I like how it's got everyone's, like, different perspectives. This is part of the reason why I am a little bit confused, because they will mention people who are very real, like Bob Dylan, Roy Orbison, the Beatles. Those are real people and they'll mention them in here, but then they'll also mention, like, bands, and they'll mention people that are completely fictional. So it's very strange. They feel real and they talk about real things, but then they talk about other people who are not real. You know what I'm saying? This book is definitely good if you have a short attention span, because it's so fast paced and they're just such small little chapters that it just, like, you just fly through it, really. Like, it's just really easy to read. The way I read this as Evermore, Good Riddance, Goodbye and Good Riddance. That's like 2 pages apart. We get Taylor Swift and we get Juice WRLD. Literally before, I was talking about Bryan Adams and the summer of '69. Over the summer and fall of 1969. Also, Camilla and Billy, they're so cute together. Also, apparently, like, this book is, like, based on Fleetwood Mac. I guess it's kind of in the same way that, like, the 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. They're talking about this dude named Chuck. And if you have seen Diary of a Wimpy Kid, there is a dude and his name is Bill. And I don't know, Chuck is just giving me Bill vibes. Imagine saying someone about that and then he has the audacity to laugh. But wait, what is this? The glory of being a man, an ugly face isn't the end of you. That's very true. I really like Karen, like, I really do. That great Billy Dunn smooth growl. Smooth growl? What is... Okay, the characters in this book, they are so flawed. They're just so flawed. The author's note of the Daisy Jones and 6 thing, whatever, said that they're gonna have discrepancies in the stories. Yeah, but it's kind of annoying. They'll say something and one band member will be like, this is what happened, and then the other band member will be like, this is what happened, and it's like, well, what happened? And, like, how do we know who's telling the truth? But also, like, it's realistic because these people are, like, old now, so they're talking about when they were younger, especially considering they're doing a lot of drugs, so things are not gonna be really clear and everything. Daisy and Billy have this, like, chemistry. Are they gonna cheat? They just have this sort of, like, otherworldly connection, but, like, Billy has a family. Is he gonna cheat? That's the song that I played at the very start. The quotes in this book, there's so many good quotes in this book. I feel like because the characters are telling you the stories themselves, they're a little bit, like, surface level. I don't know, they kind of have, like, distinct personality traits, and, like, that's the only thing about them. There's a name Eddie. I do not like Eddie. Like, every time he says something, like, I just get stressed out. But Eddie, his entire personality is that he doesn't like Billy, and because Billy's, like, really controlling and everything, which, like, that is annoying, but I don't know why. Actually, that actually would be really annoying because, like, Billy's, like, needs to control everything, and he was also being, like, so rude to Daisy before. To know if your characters have, like, distinct tones of voice, you need to just, like, write down a page of dialogue and do not say, like, what this person said, and see if you can distinguish, like, who is who. But all the characters, they kind of, like, sound the same. It just feels a little bit surface level. This could be really controversial, but I don't think that Billy and Camilla should be together. But Camilla, way back in the book, like, she indicated that she cheated on Billy. Billy did cheat on her. He went a little off the rails, and I could not. I think we're getting near the end. Okay, so I finished this and let me talk about it. The characters, they're very complex and they're very flawed. This book, because it's, like, in interview format, I just feel... Why is there a stampede of elephants above me? I would have just loved if this book was actually, like, done. Not in interview format. We're getting told everything. I love Camilla, but I will say that the ending is just so abrupt. I didn't even realize that it was, like, the ending until it was the ending, and it's very, like, open interpretation. I know what I want in my heart to happen. My only box is, like, how many loves do you get in a lifetime? I feel like this book would have that, because this book explores many different types of love. Also, because, like, this is interview, I actually did like who the author ended up being. I really like this book. I'm really glad I read it. I think I like this better than The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Karen, she was so wise. Like, Graham, just, I did not like Graham. Did not like the stuff that he was getting mad at, like, Karen for. I was just like, you have no right. I'm very glad that I read this book, and I understand why it became so popular, why it was, like, so big on TikTok. I feel like that's Is that real reviews? That's what I have for you. So by now you have seen me talk about Twisted Games and you have seen me talk about Daisy Jones and the Six, but what you don't know is that before all of that, I had an entire portion dedicated to Magnolia Park's Into the Dark, but that literally was over an hour's worth of footage, so I decided that I'm going to make that as entirely own video, and instead, because I like to have at least 3 books in a reading vlog, I'm going to talk about King of Pride because I just kind of read it and I kind of have notes about it and I didn't have any plans for it in any vlogs. I'm spending this time now to talk about this, but also I have a whole bunch of other things that I kind of have that I need to talk to you about that I haven't talked about in any other videos, so we're going to quickly do that now. First of all, I watched this movie called Abigail. It was very strange. English Cloud is sadly no longer here. In the movie, I felt like the ending scene was very weird because the Dracula guy just showed up out of nowhere. Next, we have Tarot. They had the picture of the tarot cards and the monsters came to life. That was the best part. I didn't think the acting was very good. The ending was very jokey. It was either camp or trying to be camp. The lighting and soundtrack was good. I liked it because it was so dim, but I feel like if you had bad eyesight, you wouldn't like it. I really liked the magician scene and a few others, but like some of them were really butchered. The hanging scene, that was butchered, and then some girl's entire personality was liking a boy and being able to run. I feel like they could have done so much more. That was the hanging girl. I'm not mad about seeing it, and I've seen so much worse. It was fun. There were so many scenes that were like The Conjuring and Final Destination, and I got the vibe for both of them. I did think it was a cool concept, but I would like to see them, you know, redo it and have like better actors. There are 3 writers. I think you could tell that there were 3 different visions kind of in this thing. Whoever was in charge of the actual monsters and the way the monsters came to life, they need to take charge. Like that was the best part. I did see some reviews, people were mad that there was no gore, but like it was really M. This is mainly just a reminder to myself, but I bought my mom flowers for Mother's Day and she really liked them, so I'm gonna do that again. Now let's actually talk about King of Pride. If you'll see here, the ring for King of Wrath, that was very important to the storyline. I wonder how the feathers are gonna be important. Something about me is that I have this entire theory planned out in my mind that she has an entire world planned out of stories, because guess what? The main character of this book, Isabella, she works at Valhalla Club. Valhalla Club was mentioned in Twisted Love, mentioned in the first book of the Twisted series. Do you know what I'm saying? I do get a lot of secondhand embarrassment from the main character, but I do like the fact that she's an inspiring author because I just like reading storylines about authors. Something about Kai, because this book follows Isabella and Kai, so Kai is this very serious guy. She's not. She, you know, has like cool hair and everything. That's kind of the back if you wanted to like pause it and read it. It's basically just a contemporary romance. I'd say the series itself is a very cool concept, like the 7 Deadly Sins. My favorite movie is Seven. That has all to do with the 7 Deadly Sins. I much prefer King of Wrath to this book, I think. So I did listen to some, I did read some. The book is funny, but she is the like quirky girl trope, but it's not insufferable. I much prefer her when she's with Vivian and Sloane. I'm very excited for Sloane's book. At the time I read this, King of Sloth wasn't out, but now it is. At some stage you have to read King of Reed and then King of Sloth. This book is definitely not a slow burn. They're very dramatic in this book. We're tortured by our attraction. Okay, he's literally on my rub list, Kai, because he has first edition Charles Dickens novels. So yeah, I'm about to rub his house. Here I go again, talking about fictional characters if they're real. These books are so much thinner than the Twisted books. There's a lot of information in the Twisted books. Not really Twisted Love, but definitely Twisted Lies. Twisted Lies is a thick book. That's them there. This is so me. There were nights when I lay awake, stripped of all confidence and pretense, wondering who the hell I was and what I was doing. Had I chosen the wrong path? Was it even a right path for me? Or was I destined to drift through life like an aimless ghost, no meaning, no purpose, just day after day of routine and drudgery, a life wasted on bad decisions and short-term highs? So relatable. I feel like this book is just very short and fun. I will say that Kai is very snobby and he's very proper. He also like showed her like this little secret room. In chapter 16, Christian Harper is mentioned. I'm so glad that I read the Twisted books, and I still think that my experience of King of Wrath, because I read that before any of the Twisted books, I feel like that would have been better if I had read the Twisted books first. Something about me is that I do have a problem where I'm cursed to remember everyone who has the same name. So there's this dude named Paxton who's mentioned, and I just see him as Paxton from Never Have I Ever. My mind just draws the links between people's names. Alex and Ava show up in this book. We find out why the feather was on the front cover. All I'm going to say is got something to do with reading out loud a book. He got her this gift. I just thought it was amazing. Bridget and her husband I can't get over saying that Bridget and her husband were mentioned. He took her on a getaway to his private island and consulted with neuroscientists for her writer's block. Some people went to therapy. Dante and I punched at her. His pride definitely is shown in this book. It is his downfall. Isabella name drops so many people. So there's like someone called Ruby Lee. She's the thriller author. If there happens to be a book about Ruby Lee. Well, we know there's a ridiculous third act breakup in here, but I do fear that I have done the same thing, so I kind of didn't get that mad. She doesn't really trust anyone who doesn't confirm her insecurities, and there's a full circle moment. There's something addictive about these books, and I do like these covers. I really like all the side characters. I think that Dante is much more tolerable in this book. This book does feel a little rushed, and there are some parts that did feel a little bland and boring. Also, there is so much telling and not showing like it was in the last book, and I just don't like that. I don't like being told that this is what happened. I like seeing it happen. That's why I'm reading the book, and I definitely think that it had potential. That's my final thing. Okay, that was really quick speed run. I know not many of you guys care, but I wanted to show you a scenery. I'm not gonna get it. I'm not gonna get any of that either. Did you know? Okay, I almost just clicked on it. He looks creepy. That guy's a real guy, okay? That guy, he's actually a real guy. Anyways, this is the scenery, and I'm not gonna get it, so I just wanted to show you. I'll update you. No, I'm not gonna. No, I'm not. Well, I gave my grandma a book to borrow because I like giving her my books to borrow, and she wrote me a review. So something that I'm trying to do is look on the positive side to life. So let me explain to you today. So I had a group assignment at uni. Slay. Anyways, I had to go in today, so I went in. I'm sitting in my car in the morning, and I'm just working on the assignment because, you know, we had to do our thing today. So I was like, we have to do some filming thing today. So I was like, okay, let me just type up my part. That's fine. Then I try to get out of my car, and I have keys, and the door wasn't unlocking. So I was like, why is it not doing that? So then I climb back into the front seat, and my car doesn't start. So anyways, I was just like, okay, I'm not dealing with this. Did my group assignment, right, whatever. By then I already, like, I wasn't even stressed out, to be honest. I'm at the point now where I just don't care about anything. To be honest, like, someone could tell me, like, you have a week left to live, and I just wouldn't care, because I just don't care. So I was like, oh, okay, my car doesn't start. That's just great. After doing my group assignment, I'll call an RMA. Basically, I talked to the guy on the phone, and I was like, oh, this is, like, what happened. And then he was like, okay, so someone's going to be out to get you in, like, 3 hours. Came in, like, 10, 15, 20 minutes. Yeah, the battery died. My battery was 4 years old, so at least now it's all new. Today was the perfect time for it to happen, because imagine if it was on the random side of the road. Imagine if it was raining. Imagine if I had to try to escape a dangerous situation I couldn't escape because my car won't turn on. What if I was, like, in an underground car park, like, after work one time? Also, I don't know if you, like, believe in premonitions. I do. As I was driving this morning, I literally saw a car on the side of the road with an RMA. So I have decluttered my entire room. Like, I am talking, going through my desk drawers. I kind of had stuff stacked around my room. My old sketchbooks. First of all, the artwork in there was horrendous, if you could even call it artwork. And I don't go back through and look at it. So I've thrown out so many sketchbooks. I have thrown out, so let me show you something. These, they're all mostly empty or mainly empty, right? I had 2 of these. One was pink, another one was like a pink but a different one, and they were broken. Why was I keeping broken things just because I could still use them? Absolutely not. All my desk drawers are like completely empty now. It's really nice actually. And I just feel like I was so due for a declutter, and I feel so much that I got rid of 5 bin bags. Not the ones that you put out on the curb, but like 5 bin liners. My room feels so much airier. I used to have a book cart there. You can literally see the indentations on the ground. Well, then I got more books. So then I had some on my book cart, some stacked to the side. Then I took everything off my book cart and put them all on the floor so I'd be overwhelmed. And I was overwhelmed, but my room was a mess. It actually became a mess. So now that's my book cart there. Those are bookmarks. These are all my books. These are all the books that I need to read. And when I wake up, I'm sitting on my bed right now. When I look up there, trust me, it is overwhelming, but that's how it needs to be because I don't want to get any more stuff, okay? So I've got some clothes stacked up there. Basically, I just cleaned my entire room. That box of stuff there is for my makeup. That's something that I made, but I don't need. I have some trophies. That's some like jewelry stuff. Some like pictures are behind there. And these are like my special edition books. I used to also have books like up there. Took that all down now. This is also my desk now. Basically, my room got to a point where it was very, very, very messy. And I was watching the show Hoarders to try to motivate myself to clean because I was like, if you do not sort yourself out, this could be your future. I can find sentimentality in a bag of chips. Trust me, you show me anything of mine and I will be able to put sentimentality on it. So that is a problem because I was keeping things that I did not need. In fact, I cleared out my entire desk. Things that had not been touched since I was maybe 11. So there was a lot of stuff in there, a lot of things like old sketchbooks, old coloring books, old scrapbooks that I had made. And the thing is that none of this stuff was worth keeping. I'm sorry, past self, but my drawings that I made when I was like 8 years old, there was no reason for me to keep it. I never went through them. It was never like I saw them and was like, wow, wow. And then the ones that I did actually look at, I made this artwork and I was like, I kind of like this. And I remember getting a lot of compliments on it. I took a picture of it and threw it in the bin because I don't need to be keeping it. And I'm at the point now where I just wanted to throw out everything. I put my childhood stuffed animals on my bed because it's like, okay, well, if you can't have them on your bed, then they have to go. They have to go to a new home if I am not going to use it. That's why they're there. Because it's like, if I get to a point where I'm like, I don't want them anymore, okay, then donate them and put them to a home that can use it. Can I tell you something embarrassing? Some of the things in my desk, right, had not been touched since 11. I found a note from how many years ago. It was kind of withering a bit. It was like a little scraps paper where I had written on it, my friend had written on it, because we'd been passing notes in class. Well, not passing notes, but we had a piece of paper and we were going back and forth and we were gossiping. And there was an urge in me to keep it because this friend is no longer in my life and I do miss her and there's nothing I can do about it. But I was like, wait, no, the memory of her lives in my mind. It lives in my heart. It does not live on a piece of paper. So you just see what I'm saying? But I do attach sentimentality to everything. And I just feel so much better after clearing everything out. So I've chucked out so many things. Also, this is the year for me to start using things because I'm also someone who like saves things. So things are meant to be used. For example, candles. I don't like using candles too much because I feel like I'm wasting them. Same as coloring books. I found so many coloring books that I had to chuck. Coloring books that I had from, again, when I was like 8, 9, where I was saving them. I was saving them to use. Kind of like hand creams I found, moisturizers, lotions, and they're all expired. So I had to chuck them because you can't be putting expired product on your skin because I didn't want to use them because I didn't want to waste them. And I've ended up wasting them anyways because I didn't use them. I'm going to show you kind of a few things. These are some of the bags. The first two were already put in the bin, and literally, why did I still have this? That was from Berlin, so I was like, oh, maybe I should keep it. Absolutely not. And then here is my artwork. See what I'm talking about? Please, I cannot. That's just, it needs to go. These are some of the things that I was at risk of saving and not using. This shower gel because it smells so nice, and this was a gift. This too was also a gift, and the thing is, it smells nice. I'm going to use it. This shower cap, I thought it was pretty. And obviously you need to replace shower caps, so I didn't want to do that, so I wasn't going to use it. Well, guess what? I'm using it now. I've used it every single night. This is also some lotion. It smells so nice, but like, it needs to be used. And then this thing, I just thought it was so cute, and so I didn't want to use it because, again, you can't keep these things. Once they're done, after a while, you have to get rid of it, and I didn't want to, but like, I can just get something else.